World-class faculty, cutting-edge labs, and immersive learning. A vibrant campus life beyond the classroom. SGT University, nurturing future leaders.
I will take you beyond our blue skies into the space where a very special mission is unfolding, one that puts India and ISRO right at the heart of groundbreaking international research, that too in space. Yes, we are talking about the Axiom-4 mission, a space mission that's not just aiming for the stars but aiming to understand how life, food and even our minds behave in space. And representing India on board is none other than very own group captain Shubhanshu Shukla, the man who will be conducting these crucial experiments, that too in microgravity. So what's really going on up there and why is it important? Let's break it down for you. The AX-4 mission has become Axiom Space's most science-packed mission yet. Around 60 scientific studies are being conducted by the astronauts representing 31 countries, from the United States to Poland, Hungary, Saudi Arabia, Brazil, Nigeria, the UAE, and yes, of course, India. This is not just space travel, folks. It's a flying laboratory. Let's talk about the experiment India is part of in collaboration with NASA. First up, an experiment that literally begins from the ground up, growing crops in the space. Yes, ISRO is sending 6 types of crop seeds to the International Space Station. Why? Well, to study how microgravity affects their growth. Once these seeds come back to Earth, they will be planted again and again over several generations, and scientists will observe which seeds thrive and which one changes genetically, and that too how. Why does this matter? Well, because if humans are going to live on the moon or Mars someday, we need to grow our own food in space. This is a first step toward space farming, they call it. Next, an experiment that digs way deeper into the same theme, sprouting in space. Another ISRO-led study is focusing on how seeds germinate and grow during a space flight. After the mission, these seeds will also be studied back on Earth to check for any changes in genetics, microbial activity, and their nutritional value, which is very important. And now we go microscopic, but tiny organism could have a massive impact. That is important to note. ISRO is testing microalgae, simple organism that can be used as food, fuel, or even part of life support system in space. 3 strains of microalgae are currently growing in space. Scientists are observing how their growth, metabolism, and genetics change in microgravity compared to algae grown on Earth. Well, why microalgae then? Because they grow fast, they are rich in nutrients, and they can even help recycle carbon dioxide into oxygen, something critical for long missions in space. Now, from algae to bacteria, here's another exciting experiment ISRO is doing in space. Cyanobacteria, a tiny water-based organism that photosynthesizes just like plants. ISRO is testing 2 strains of these bacteria in space to see how they grow and survive in the space environment. Their goal, to find out if these bacteria can be part of life support system in future spacecraft, helping recycle air and waste just like a miniature ecosystem. But space research is not just about plants and organisms. It is also about humans and how our bodies and brains behave in zero gravity. And that is where Voyager displays experiment comes, which India is also part of, studies how astronauts interact with electronic screens in microgravity. Ever wondered how hard it must be to point at a screen or control a machine while floating around in space? This experiment looks at eye movement, hand coordination, and stress levels all of which will help engineers design better spacecraft control systems and computer interfaces for future missions in the space. These experiments are not just futuristic, they are foundational. They aim to solve the real challenges of long-term space travel, food, oxygen, stress, and even screen use now. And all of this will help prepare India's own space ambition. Yes, that's right. The Axiom-4 mission is also laying the groundwork for ISRO's most anticipated human spaceflight program, the Gaganyaan. The mission will send 3 Indian astronauts to low Earth orbit at an altitude of 400 kilometers for 3 days. They will live, work and survive in the space and then return home safely. So while we look up at the night sky, remember, India is already up there conducting science, building knowledge and preparing for a future where humans don't just visit space, but they live there. And Shubhanshu Shukla is not just flying high, he is helping plant the seeds of our space future, quite literally here.